Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Today is September 4th. This is our Spaces. We always appreciate you attending. Let's get into some stats. The AUM is at 181.6 million. The Elephant MCAP is at 36.8 million. The Treasury is at 3.9 million, and the Trunk MCAP is at 39.2 million. We are also staked at, I actually can't see how we're staked. There's something funny with the graphic. But anyway, welcome. Hi, Ed. How are you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, Josie?
Just enjoying some time in Asheville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hope it's some good weather there. I hear it's always nice there.
Yeah, it's really cute town, city, whatever it is.
A lot of nice little towns and like little places to go and shops and winery stuff. I hear it's really, really nice. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I recommend it.
Now, I almost missed this one again. It was 10:59. I look at my phone. I go, holy crap, I got to get online beforehand. I lost track of time and forgot what day it was. And so now I'm here with you guys. I literally have not been on Telegram but for 2 minutes today, everyone. So I don't know. See if I can see something on the backside where BT said he might join us. I did not. No, there's no message from him today. So I'm not sure he's going to be coming in or not. Hopefully he'll take a quick stop by. If you guys want to chat a little bit, feel free to hit the request to speak and we'll get you in here. So I don't have to do all the talking for however long it's going to take. I don't have too much for you. I didn't take a screenshot of the other stats that we usually do. So I'm on the dashboard now looking at it. I do see that, especially the trumpet, that thing is just, that's been moving up, which I'm really happy about, because since I don't touch anything out of there, I'm happy to see that it's going up. So either from people joining or leaving, you're going to see that number move quite a bit, especially if, trunk moves up a bit and people just want to take some profits. You'll see trumpet go up as people are exiting, since it's kind of like a last man standing kind of a contract. The trunk burned since the last time I took the stats is 3.091 million is the trunk that's burned. Okay. I'm trying to see what else is on here that I can pop into you guys. All right. Not too much. And I don't have any info from the Save.Finance. So I can't give you too much on that one. I think you guys saw this week, Shankar is in the chat. If you want to jump on, Shankar, feel free, because I don't have much topics to talk about today, or all things EVM wants to jump in. You guys just pop your mics on. You guys saw the video in the chat. BT pinned it. Patricia and Shankar, two of our very active members in our ecosystem, got to hang out and meet each other. So did, I think, Eric join them. I haven't seen that video yet, but what a great, just to see that was really, really cool. I mean, to see some people meeting, we all met in Nashville and we meet here and there in Vest Fest, but to see that all around the world is even better. And especially from people that have a lot of money in the ecosystem. And they're like, hey, this is what we're doing right now. This is what you should be doing right now. Just giving you just a couple tidbits of their mindset and what they're doing. And we keep saying, you're going to follow somebody's footsteps. You might as well do it with the people that know what they're doing in the ecosystem than a couple people that are just, not knowing what's going on, and they're just kind of going by emotions. And these guys do it based on just plain common sense, knowing the ecosystem, knowing the market, knowing what's best for them and best for their funds. And it's always a good listen when I hear people doing that. And especially when they were thinking pretty much the same thing I was thinking, and to hear somebody else kind of confirm that, it helps out a lot sometimes. When you're going to make some decisions and you could try to take some emotion out of it, it really helps to see somebody else almost exactly on the same wavelength as you. So when Patricia was talking in that video, it's only a 15-minute video. It's probably 1 or 2 pin messages back if you want to go check it out. And I believe another video is probably going to be coming. Let's see, it's 2 pin messages back. That's it. So you don't have to go far for it. give it a good 15-minute listen. It's really worth it. And a shout out to Roger Hall, who's been posting a lot of stuff lately. It's pretty much what we've been asking the community to do, and a handful of people have been stepping up, just making posts. His last post in BT pinned it, top 7 reasons why elephant money ecosystem and people are special. And just a quick little post, but those are the things we love people to see that are joining Elephant Money. When they come in the chat, we want them to see this kind of stuff. They want to see how the community is responding to everything going on, because that could be one of the factors that has them decide whether they're going to put money in, they're going to wait a little while, or they're just going to pass on us. Community has a big impact on that. And you could search around Telegram and some other chat rooms of other projects that have failed or failing, and you can see the kind of chat room they have. And just even if you don't even look up any of the numbers on a specific token or anything, here's a project, go in the chat, search the chat for just scroll through for like 15 minutes, come back to me and tell me what you think's going on in that ecosystem and their token. And based on that, you could probably say, okay, I can easily tell what's going to happen there. They're not going to be doing too well. But you don't get that when you come to ours. You know, when we come in our chat, okay, these guys have been here. I see their chat history for 5 years. I see all the posts, the videos, the content. Okay, this is something I could tell is a very strong community and a very strong protocol and ecosystem. And I think this is what I want to keep researching a little more about to find out whether I'm going to put my money and how much I'm actually going to put in. And you guys do a great job, an awesome job. So thank you to everybody that participates in the chat and keeps us who we are, because the herd is definitely the best in all of social media and all the places I've been to, whether it's Discord or here. Oh, and if you guys remember, it was either on my video or another one I was mentioning it was on the video about my 2000 day. There was something I joined before I was on Telegram, where you would go into a chat room, people would just drop tokens in there and you can grab them. It was called Guild Chat. I don't know if any of you remember that, but that was kind of like a fun thing. I was just sitting in the chair, just bouncing around doing that for a while. And it was silly, but it was fun. I actually made a few bucks on that. Back on the Tron network side, because that's where most of the tokens were going to be coming from. And it was really silly, but it was a lot of fun back in the day. Sorry, I didn't mean to digress like that. But anyway, Shankar, you want to jump on, man? What's going on? I see you're allowed to hit the speaker button there.
Yeah, hello from Amsterdam, everyone. Don't really have much. I am a little bit in summer vacation mode here. Obviously, what I did do was I met with 3 individuals who are herd members. Obviously the video with Patricia that hopefully everyone saw. If not, it's pinned, and I see her in the room here as well. So that was really great. During that meetup, a mini meetup, we also had Eric there, and he's amazing as well. I will release that video probably by the end of the week. Just want to give enough breathing space to every video, but it's very. And then I had a separate one-off meeting with another herd member. So it's really impressive when I travel to see that people from all over the world know and are excited. And it was definitely a good meeting for me as well, with meeting with Patricia and Eric, because sometimes the community needs to give you the how should I say, the perspective that you need. Yeah, perspective is the right word. I mean, being on your own in wherever you are is sometimes not easy if you get too focused on one aspect. I mean, everybody here knows that I am a futures whale, if you will, and the recent changes that were necessary to be made impacted me. So what did I do? I spoke to other herd members to get perspective. And something that you mentioned, very, very important, you want to really listen a little bit to what others are doing who are big players and who have experience with crypto, and that's what I did. So great video that came out. Thank you again, Patricia, for taking the time to travel to Amsterdam to do that with me. Next, let's see, next month I will be in Singapore for 2 weeks. Very curious about Solana. There's the Breakpoint conference, so I'm gonna network a little bit there. Nothing too heavy, but just curious to also meet more folks from that blockchain ecosystem. And that's it. I got a lot of questions from community members about Save, how to use it and how to strategize with it. And I think I think you alluded to it. I came maybe a minute late or two, but I think we need to just be a little bit patient to see how Save plays out with additional players coming into that pool so that we can move forward. That's what I have, Ed.
Hey, it's plenty. That literally is plenty. It's more than I had. So I really was not planned for today at all. I had stuff to do this morning and I forgot it was Wednesday, so I didn't. But, it doesn't always have to be crypto here. I mean, we do, that's the whole part about being in Elephant Money. It's not always 100% crypto. We talk about some of the things we did, and you just said you're in Amsterdam right now. So what time is it there actually? Is it like 5 PM or something like that?
Yeah, it's 5:13. Yeah.
How long you staying there? You flew in, or did you do a cruise or something too?
No, I flew in. I'll return on Saturday. I will have been here for an entire month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so primarily because I like to, my mom still lives in Luxembourg, so we pick Amsterdam as a very convenient point for all of us to travel and, be in a very active city, and there's lots to do, lots of sightseeing, but also business-wise a very active city. A good infrastructure, easy to fly into. So that's what I'm doing here.
I hope you are enjoying the trip and hope mom's doing well, and hope it was a good visit while you're out there.
Yeah, it was definitely. Also, it's not always evident with good weather in the Netherlands, but we've been very blessed with good weather so far. And that's what the summer is about.
Are you coming back to the U.S. then Singapore, or are you just going straight from there?
I'll be in the U.S. for a week, just take care of some business, and then straight on to Singapore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope Solana thing goes pretty well. I was hoping BT was going to head out there, but I don't think he's going to. He's going to stick here and start batten down the hatches on all the people he needs to talk to from over the past conference.
Yeah. He mentioned, that I think to simplify what he said is it might make more sense for him to network in more business-minded places rather than purely crypto.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart. I apply that a lot in my other businesses. You always want to go where you are the only person who is an expert and everyone else is a potential client. So if we talk about Elephant Money as a community bank, it makes sense, and crypto, it makes sense to go where you have potential clients and not other competitors. So I agree with that, but I'm just I'm just really curious also to see what's going on in Solana. So,
well, at least we'll have a representative in both locations, so that's even better.
yeah. And then here,
go ahead.
The Bitcoin conference is also here in Amsterdam in October, I believe, and I think a few European herd members are also planning to be here. I won't make that one, but it's definitely going to conferences is good for the reason I mentioned, right? To get perspective, to meet other herd members, and stay also up to date on. I mean, this is a space that moves so fast, as we all know, very dynamic. So it is almost a duty as a good steward of our investments that we do some research and do your own research. To me, well, I mean, if you can, right? Not everybody is in a position to do it, but do your own research to me also means attending industry conferences.
And here in the chat, we try to say, you got to check back often, because you don't know what changes can be made or updates or upgrades, and it might not even be an ecosystem thing. Maybe there was something with maybe MetaMask wallet had something that they changed, and then BT had to go and change something on our end, and it's just something you wouldn't have known. And you might go to your wallet one day and go, why don't I see any numbers? Why is it showing zeros? Well, they did an update. We had to do something. So it's just making sure you're always paying attention as much as you can. And, the doing your own research part doesn't mean you're going to understand everything all by yourself. So you go up to your limits, and then when you don't know anything, or you don't know enough about something, you have questions and you ask about it. And what you said earlier was like on point. It's like, and in crypto especially, in crypto, you cannot be alone. You cannot do this by yourself. You got to be able to have a community to talk to, and you can't just roam around free and without any information or some other people to talk to, especially, when things might be going a different direction than expected, and you can hear some other perspectives from some other people, and it helps a lot. So being in crypto alone is definitely not a fun thing whatsoever.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it is fun in that sense where you grow. You definitely do yourself a favor in exposing yourself to something that is really your part of the 1% of the 1%, right? I believe only what did I read last time? Only 5 or 6% of humanity even owns crypto, and then if we take it to DeFi, it's a step further even. So I think it's great. I think everybody who is open-minded and partakes is commendable for that.
And that since I've known about Bitcoin since like 2012, I don't know how long you've known about it, but you would figure in 12 years, there would be more people that have it, but it's crazy that it's not.
Yeah. There's a quote going around. I forget who it was, some important CEO, and he essentially says Bitcoin, and of course when we say Bitcoin, we mean cryptocurrencies as a technology, is such a huge thing for humanity that people don't really realize how huge it really is, because we're not used to such groundbreaking fundamental changes happening very often. And also, as humans, we are somewhat reluctant to change, so we don't like to embrace. We're sometimes a little bit in denial, I believe. But he says Bitcoin / cryptocurrencies and DeFi is such a thing. And I believe, of course, I think we all are here because we strongly believe that. And we have incredible unfair advantage if you want to see life as a competition. We have an unfair, incredible advantage to others who will at some point to deal with it because it's a little bit more mainstream, and then have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And I mean, you'll be lucky because you'll be a veteran, and you'll have a deep understanding of certain things that a lot of people don't. So many concepts we learn here on our journey that start becoming somewhat easy for us, that are completely an enigma to others. Like, I notice when I travel and I have like this Bitcoin necklace, so that I use it as a piece to start conversations, and I meet so many people who say, I would like to start, but I have absolutely no idea where to even start. And these are young people, so people much younger than myself, even, teenagers or whatever. They don't know. Not everybody knows. So it's really, we're privileged to be exposed to all of this information. As I always like to say, pioneers in a frontier, in a digital financial frontier. And that's why it is so rocky at times, because we are pioneers.
And you said you just saw some people that wanted to get in, and they didn't know how to. And back when I was younger, I could just literally, if I wanted to learn something, I just asked my mom or dad, and they knew the answer. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of parents that don't know the answer to crypto either. They're not in it yet either, for whatever reason. And so they couldn't even teach their younger ones stuff about that. So it's kind of like there's a separation now that where, if the older ones don't learn it, then the younger ones aren't learning it either. And they're not even surrounded by it. It's like if me or, some of the people, like, say, when SK's kid grows up and BT's kid is like a teenager now, I believe, and they probably know. I have to ask them, say, hey, well, not SK because it's a baby, but I actually want to ask BT how much his daughter knows about crypto, or if he's taught her anything about that at all, and the stuff at that age, what they're hearing about, because I hear they're pretty young. I mean, they could do so much. I mean, they're coding in school in a very, very young age on tablets. So the opportunities to learn are there. It's just, where can they find those opportunities?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of adults are still very skeptical and scared, and there's this whole idea that still a lot of people hold, that cryptocurrencies are just a temporary trend or a scam. So, but they will find out otherwise.
And there's been a lot of technology over the years that just doesn't, that's just switched over to digital stuff. Like, for example, especially if your grandparents are going out or something like that. I've gone out to a couple different restaurants, and they have 0 menus. You have to use the QR code on your phone to look the menu. And I'm like, oh, really? I'd rather look at a menu, just mainly because I didn't bring my glasses or something like that. And I don't really want to read stuff on my phone. And it's just much easier to read off an actual menu right in front of me. And so I kind of get annoyed when that happens too, even though I'm in plenty of technology. But just to actually do something like that, just, hey, scan this and look what you want for an appetizer. Just that hassle. For that, it seemed like a hassle.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what it's like to try to get people into crypto, especially that are a bit older than me too. So it's kind of you would think a younger generation would really be kicking butt at this right now, but it hasn't done it as fast as I thought it would.
Yeah, it's painful for some. I mean, there are still, I don't know if there are a lot of people, but there are still people who don't have a quote-unquote smartphone. So what are they to do? And then I've noticed here in Amsterdam, there's more and more places that don't accept cash anymore.
Really?
Which, yeah. which is very worrisome to, like, my mom, for example. She really, really doesn't like it because, yeah, I mean, for so many reasons. One of the reasons being that you can track everything, and which is one. I agree. That's why a lot of people. That's part of the appeal of cryptocurrencies, is to not be tracked and all of that. But yeah, it's been very consistent here that you cannot use cash. Businesses don't want to pay the transaction fee.
Well, I thought that was. I thought that's why they wanted cash, so they didn't have to pay the credit card fees and all that kind of stuff. Because
yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely, that doesn't make sense. So,
and then taxes too. If you use cash,
yeah, you're right.
Taxes.
Yeah, that argument here didn't make sense.
It's weird that some people do that.
It's probably just convenience, and if you can save the trip to the bank at the end of the day to make the deposit, maybe it's worth the fees. I don't know. It's just something that it doesn't bother me at all, but I can see how it really worries other people. And
small businesses, if you have a little mom and pop shop, then you probably would want cash you don't want to have to keep paying those fees. But then when you're a regular restaurant, you could probably handle it better, and then less cash on hand, less theft, less, so many different ways on both sides of that. And I know New York City, a lot of places in the actual Manhattan take cash just to get out of not having to pay so much tax too.
Right.
So yeah, I noticed some places here are the no cash, but then some places it says cash is. They don't say cash only. They just go, cash is highly recommended for a small business kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, so they go, support local, pay cash. So it's all over both sides of it. How's crypto over there, though? Do you see a big? I've never looked at a chart for the places around the world besides U.S. and like China. I mean, like what kind of countries have crypto adoption in it? So I didn't know about Amsterdam over there, and since you have the Bitcoin conference there, I figured it had to be a little bit popular.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't even see in quote unquote normal society in the US. I see a lot of adoption. I think we all are in a bubble where we just know a lot of people. But I don't know. I know there's the Bitcoin conference here, but I haven't heard I haven't seen any signs that there's a large adoption. By the way, Patricia says it's because they don't want to get robbed. That's why there's no cash.
That's what I was thinking too when you mentioned your mom. That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, well, that kind of protects some older people like our parents from being out in the street and having cash on them and somebody trying to rob them. Keeps them a little safer too. But all things EVM, man. I don't know if you want to jump in with us. I saw your mic was on. If you want to pop in and say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just posting the market update right now. Actually, I think my internet's being slow. It's about 6 minutes left on the upload, but it's a little bit longer episode today.
So when I make random videos on my phone, if I try to upload it from my phone to Telegram, or if I try to upload it from my iPad loads that thing up really fast. My phone takes forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm in my office this morning, and it looks like everything's running just fine, but the upload's taking way longer than it should. It's been, actually, it's just checking. It's uploaded now, so yeah, it's in a good spot. So I'm gonna post that in the Telegram, but I kind of did a deep dive into just technical analysis more than anything else today. Did talk about Trunk a little bit, creating a floor around 30 cents. I got some nice money flow into Trunk over the last couple days. It was really great to see since we had been on a downtrend since we hit 90 cents as far as whale money flow goes. And that whale money flow thing that I talk about in my videos, guys, that's an indicator that I purchased, but it's on-chain data, and you can't fool that. So it's I don't know what the metric is that it's following exactly as far as like what a whale is in their definition, but it gives you large money flows into a coin, any coin that's trackable on chain. So it's a nice way to see, what whales are doing, and if whales are buying, guys, the price is going to go up too. So there may be some people getting scared out right now just with the overall downtrend in the overall crypto market, but I definitely see whale money flow coming back in the trunk right now, which is likely going to send our price back up towards 50 cents or maybe even higher over the next couple days. So I'm excited about that. Overall trend for crypto in general does look to be currently bearish, but in the immediate short term, guys, I do actually think we'll see a bump. Bitcoin could get up. Could get up as high as like 68,000 over the next week before the FOMC meeting, where we expect at least a 25 basis point drop, or I think the metrics are actually looking closer to 50%, 50 point drop, basis point drop on interest rates. But I do think that'll be a sell the news event as we finish out September. September being one of the most bearish months of not only crypto, but also stocks. So I heard a stat this morning that since World War II, September has been a negative market on average, at least 0.8% down month over month. So just expect that we probably, thankfully elephants kind of isolated. We actually outperform markets in bear trends. So that's fantastic. We've seen that happen ever since the dawn of elephant, right? And that's been great to see. But in general, I do think the next couple of weeks could be pretty volatile, probably a bump to the upside before the FOMC meeting. And depending on if we get a 25 or a 50% or a 50 basis point move on that, if we get a 25 only, I do expect us to go down right away. If we get a 50 basis point move, it could hold up the price and then send us into the next leg up. But I do expect either way, just a little bit of a dip right after that news, kind of a sell the news event.
Well, the Bitcoin kind of dropped like from 60, what was it? Dropped like 8,000 or something like that in the past 10 days or something. I didn't know if maybe that was speculating of what was going to happen with that event, or some other thing caused it to drop like that. Just looking at it,
I think it's just ranging right now. We've been ranging on the high side, up. We hit 73 back in March, right? And then we came back up to resistance around 71 back in June, did the same thing, came back up to 70 in July, and we didn't quite get up to the top of the range at 69 10 days ago. But then we dropped yesterday, and really this morning, we dropped all the way down to 55,000. And I do think that's going to be the local bottom, at least for the next couple days, maybe into the FOMC meeting on the 17th. And then that could send us back up to 65,000, maybe even as high as 68 if we go all the way to the top of the, resistance, downtrending resistance. But I still think, guys, that we have a downtrend bottom to come in still. I don't think that's going to be too much below 50,000, and like the lowest it possibly could be in my mind is about 44,000, maybe 42.
So the drop it took the past 10 days, like let's just say there wasn't a buy whatsoever. How much money would it take to move Bitcoin like down $8,000?
That's a good question.
Is it like $10 million? One person would sell 10 and it would drop, or wouldn't? It would be way more than that to drop that far.
Just with the economies of scale, we're talking about billions of dollars being liquidated from the market if that's gonna, if we're gonna drop, down to 50 again. I still think that's possible. We saw that liquidation. We had that wick down to below 50,000. Right around the same time we had that liquidation event. It was about 4 or 5 days after for elephant, for Trunk, and I think that kind of was the Japanese news, I believe, right?
That's right.
The yen being kind of the 50 basis point move up in the for the Japanese interest rate, and that kind of scared everybody because that was where a lot of international money was getting, free money from. Essentially, they were borrowing from Japan because there wasn't any interest rate there. But that we recovered from that all the way up to 65,000 on Bitcoin. Obviously, the stock market did even better. Stock market went up, to all-time highs again. Kind of double topped though, right? And then since the Nvidia earnings, we've been down the last couple days, but today's flat.
So yeah, that Nvidia was a bunch of hype and then blah.
Yeah, there also was a there was some sort of antitrust suit that just came up like yesterday for Nvidia, so that was a catalyst as well.
What's been the crypto market trend for October? If September's there.
October is an uptrend, and then November is like the best performing month. So I expect between October and November, I think we should get above 70,000 again for Bitcoin.
I'd like to get above 75 cents for Trunk actually by then.
Well, Trunk, I think, again, is isolated. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, we're definitely isolated.
Yeah. I think in general, we will see more money flow into, our ecosystem with the price of Bitcoin going up though too. So we definitely need more money coming into just crypto in general to see Trunk really fly. I think a lot of herd members are definitely each one teaching one, but just with inflows, as we get into the fall, we'll see more money coming into Trunk.
Yeah, the each one teach one has been doing pretty good. I think we need like a couple semi-whales or whales to pop in with a little bit of a bigger bag to show a little bit of a boost, which will cause some more buys there as well. Just like, okay, now we got somebody in. I was waiting for somebody with some money to come in. And now that I see it, now I'm doing it. I mean, it's not the best DCA idea, but it works. It's in the tank, I would say.
I'm personally DCAing around here. I don't have a lot of dry powder on the side right now, but I did most of my DCAing around 50 cents and a little bit more when it hit 29 cents last week. I hope to be able to buy some more Trunk. I think when we hear what BT's been up to post InvestFest, I know he said he's got some deals in the works, maybe even ink drawing on one of them. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Personally, I think we're going to see consolidation until Save.Finance has more liquidity. If we get a bunch of USDC there, the herd will start borrowing again because they'll be able to, and we'll see the price of Trunk just go exponential again.
Or people just being able to buy more Trunk. If they already get their USDC out, they'll end up buying some more. I know a couple people are waiting to get that was their dry powder kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's locked up right now, so they can't buy Trunk too. That totally makes sense.
And I know I think BT's been like, I think every day he's like, listen, I got another call. I got another call. I got another. I think there's been like meetings with the same people for a few days in a row or something like that. So that's why he's I had a feeling he wasn't going to come in today, just on the down low, like doing his thing in the back end, which is fine. That's what we want you to do. Coming in and chatting with us is great, but we all know what we're supposed to be doing. So that's why I'm glad you jump in and Shankar jump in, because you guys always offer some good info that I just don't offer each week. So to get something from others is
we had a great time at InvestFest, guys. Like it was really good. BT had some really great conversations, and I can't tell you who because he doesn't want me to, and he hasn't told me who he's making deals with, so that I can't tell anybody either. He's keeping his cards close to his chest on this, but I do understand that there's a deal coming, and maybe at multiple deals. So more than likely, they're going to be USDC suppliers, is my guess. But again, this is speculation based on what I understand from the nature of the conversation. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more liquidity in our Save.Finance.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I think people definitely want to. They love that thing. If you're in, you love it. It seems like it's like, oh yes, I want to lend more. I want to borrow more. I want to borrow more. I just want to keep adding to it, if they were able to. It's one of those things, you like it or hate it kind of thing. I'm more of a stick trunk in my wallet kind of guy in Trumpet, and then some people are more of Save.Finance. So
yeah, I've been in more in Save.Finance. I did have a Trumpet bag, but pulled it out and moved it over to Save before we had that liquidation event, and just to stack more, to have a more healthy account balance. But yeah.
And were you doing lending before Save? Did you ever do it before, or was that your first time ever?
No, I'm a lender. I have a lot of my ETH that I have on the multiple L2s is lend out to borrow stables, and I farm with stables. I farm with them. I put them into futures, and I also have bought most of my trunk bag with borrowed USDC from the east side. So pretty conservative there. I don't borrow more than half of what my ETH is worth, and so with the downtrend in ETH as well, I've had to shore up some positions, and that's why I'm kind of lacking dry powder at the moment.
I didn't even check how ETH was doing. I'm sure it's following Bitcoin a bit, right? So
it's worse than following Bitcoin, unfortunately.
2,400 right now.
BTC dominance is going up. Yeah, we're at pretty low.
Down 16%
to start to outperform. Yeah, I mean BNB's holding up better than ETH is over the last 10 days or so. BNB's looking a lot more like Bitcoin is, and then Solana. Dude, I think Solana's going to rip pretty hard through 24 and 25.
I hope so. I don't know if there's usually a pump in price after their conferences or not. I don't know if there's you get to check back the history on that and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been enough history to say if that's like, you can say that with the Bitcoin conference, you can say that maybe with ETH Denver, but and because of those two, you might be able to say it's likely for Solana, but I would say that macro has more effect on all of these things. At least macro catalyst, being past the halving and all that with Bitcoin. And October should rip, guys. October into November, we should be off the bottoms, and we needed this correction. We ran up to all-time highs before what was normal, mainly because of the ETF, I think, in Bitcoin. So we're ahead of schedule with seeing a new all-time high in this cycle that has never happened before this close to the halving. So getting up to 73,000 back in March was historic as far as seeing a new all-time high that quickly after. Actually, it was before the halving. I take it back. The halving didn't happen until April. So seeing an all-time high before the halving has never happened before.
I'm not a fan of the quick pumps up. I mean, I know it's great. Hey, your value's up. Mm-hmm. But when I see something, I feel like those are very unhealthy. I'd rather a healthy uptrend in whatever token I have. To see quick pumps like that, it's like, oh man, it's coming. We're gonna take a dip. Somebody's has an itchy finger and they're taking profit. So I'd rather just actually not slow, but a decent pace of an uptrend, especially when it comes to people having the token, and then of course the price, but mainly the wallets. I want to see an uptrend in wallet amounts, and I don't care if it's $20 in your wallet, man. I just want to see another wallet with it, so people can see as one of the other factors they look at when they're looking at something. It's like, well, okay, your price moved up, it's going up pretty good, but you only have 1,000 wallets with this. That's kind of scary.
Yep.
So the more wallets, the better, for sure.
Absolutely.
I remember, what was it, when I first got into crypto, Bitcoin only had 40,000 wallets, and now it's at 80 million?
Yeah.
So yeah, can you believe that? And we don't even have that. I'm not comparing us to Bitcoin. I'm just showing how strong the king is. The king is Bitcoin, and for its time that it was around, only 40,000 wallets had it. And for the trunk, not since it started, but since we became deflationary, or since we started, hitting that burn thing, like, was it December? I think we started doing that. So for 9 months, and the amount of wallets we have in 9 months is pretty darn good, I think. So
absolutely.
Yeah, we can get up to 40,000. That would be pretty darn good too. And I saw the volatility, and with 40,000 wallets back in those days, it was crazy prices going everywhere, up and down like 50-60% of the pop. So for the little wallets that we have, we're doing pretty darn good. So the more wallets we get, we definitely need some well spread out to other members out there, so they can handle the volatility a little better.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that even if we didn't have that liquidation event, I think we could have had price movement go from $1.70 all the way down to where it was, just because of volatility.
Oh, really?
Just because of shakeout. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we watched the price go from 90 to 30, pretty quickly as well. So, I think we went up super quick, and because of that, we had a correction. On obviously the liquidation event, made that pretty strong. But I think it's just normal to have this sort of volatility when there's so few players and low market cap. So, I mean, look at penny stocks. There's just a lot of volatility in that space, and we're not that different market cap wise yet. Until we get our market cap towards $1 billion, like, what is the goal, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have some decent volatility.
And those wallets we need. I think we say each one teach one, but we still need the wallets. People are maybe learning, but we need more of that wallet count to really, really get up there to help out a lot.
Yep. Need more holders. The more whales we have, the fewer wallets we have, the larger the whales can move the price.
Exactly.
If they want to manipulate it. So.
And I think about that whenever I'm looking at it. I'm like, if the price moves this way or that way, and I see certain buys or sells, I'm like, yeah, well, that's going to happen because the amount of wallets we have, and it's nothing I really ever, kind of get nervous about. I just expect it. Back when I first started, I think I probably would have got really nervous about how I understood things, because I didn't know a lot. And now I understand how much certain wallets can affect things in certain ways and affect people. I didn't really get the FUD thing when I first started until I saw it. Okay, one guy comes in, he's going to sell. Okay, now it's like just steamrolls downhill like that. And then, well, I get to sell too. And I never understood FUD when I was first starting out.
Yep.
And this doesn't happen as much like that in stocks, because I never see. You see some bad story, CNBC, Mad Money, he's saying there's going to be a bad report come out maybe on Tuesday. Then you might see some movement, but it wasn't like you see in crypto, where a couple people with big bags decide to buy or sell, and then you see the movement going crazy and you don't know what to do. And then you just follow whoever's leading that day. If it's a buyer, you go buy. If it's somebody selling, you follow the seller.
Yep.
And then obviously the worst moves you could ever make, but when you don't know much, like I didn't, that's what happens. So
absolutely.
Glad we get to learn from the best.
Better, yeah, I mean, you just got to keep learning, learn from your mistakes, and the longer you're here, the better chance you have of understanding what's going on. Obviously, cycles change, and you can't ever predict exactly, tops and bottoms, but not getting scared out is the biggest struggle, I think, for most people, or FOMOing in at the top.
Yeah,
the two
I know.
biggest factors.
It's hard to do, especially when we were between, let's say, about 120 and 160. It's hard not to buy anymore because you kind of like, I don't know. I feel I would get, I don't know if I'd get more angry at myself for not getting more or not, or trying to, I don't know. It feels weird because I think because maybe just because I know the ecosystem and stuff, and I know its potential. So when I try to actually buy something, I feel like $1.30 that's still low.
Yep.
No matter what. I mean, because I still know in my head, yeah, we're going over 2. We're going over 3. I would say 5 and 6. May not be now or next month, but I still believe in it. So me buying it at 30, at 60, or 140 I feel like that's nothing, even though it could have been a top at one point and dropped back down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, well, guess what? I bought at 140 and now it's at 30. Just DCA myself down to 50 then.
Yep.
So it just happens. So
Absolutely.
Just as long as you think in your head, where would you say, not you, I mean, in your head, if you're listening, where do you really think Trump is going?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a number, and obviously I would assume it's going to be higher than today's number, then I see no reason not to DCA till you get to that number. Now, that's just me.
Yeah, there's great potential to become a whale in this market, in our ecosystem right now, with prices as low as 30 cents per Trump.
Yeah. We've created a lot of whales here for sure.
Yeah, right.
And a couple people have turned in the tiny fish too by not doing things right. So
yep,
all of the plays from the big guys, like what they're doing right now, from Patricia and Shankar when you heard slow last week, and Ruggs came in or Goldwyn came in, and they pretty much told you what's going on. So I hope you're following what they tell you.